Welcome back to Brentocast-03. We got a lot going on this week, including some flashing lights from Delilah's Wand of Power, which we picked up at the Loomis Family Circus. I believe that was July the 6th or 7th, which was their last night at the Cabarrus Arena, and it was fun. It's our first time going to a circus with her, and the last circus that I probably saw was also at Cabarrus Arena, and they still had big cats. And, you know, I am really not a supporter of circuses in general because I don't think they're able to properly treat the animals. So I don't think it's worth my entertainment or anyone else's to mistreat, particularly the big animals, the elephants and the cats as well. Of course, you know, the mood in this country has changed since the Tiger King. If there's anything good to come out of that people are a lot more aware of what it really takes to provide any kind of quality of life for these exotic pets. I don't know why lions get no love because they are just as difficult to care for, I'm sure, but not as highly regulated, I guess. Maybe it has to do with the endangeredness of the species, but I digress. I was not sad to see that Loomis Circus had gotten rid of the cats, and they did have one elephant, although as elephants go, I've been around a few of them. This one did not smell as bad as some, so I'm presuming that they wash him and groom him and are able to take care of him more, and I didn't see any evidence of any kind of chain marks on him, which was not the case the last time that I saw an elephant up close. So we took Delilah to that, and man, it was right up her alley. Dancing girls, dudes on motorcycles, gymnasts, they sort of filled the gap between the big animals with human performers, and that was okay by me, and I think the crowd seemed to love it too. And the big finale was actually a person being launched out of a cannon, which was kind of cool. But if you look at the July the 4th episode of the Brento weekly vlog on BrentBowers.com, you can see the footage from that. But getting right into this episode of Brentocast, a lot has gone on since the last one. Actually, I meant to record it last Sunday, and things actually went slightly off the rails Sunday. I was hit with a bout of this recurring, it feels serious at the time, but it feels like a recurring sort of thing. When I was about 10 years old, I accidentally was shoveling out some stalls. That wasn't the accident, but the accident was I accidentally poked my leg with a manure-covered pitchfork, and not a big deal. Brushed it off, finished out the job, and didn't think anything of it. And like 30 years later, I started having these bouts of cellulitis, which is an intradermal bacterial infection, and it typically comes on in a slow way, like with a little bit of redness. It used to be it was only my left instep, kind of like left side of the upper ankle. And actually, the first time that actually started bothering me, I was grappling a guy, and it was actually Anthony Huss. He used to do this move that really pissed everybody off, where to pass the guard, he would put his shin on the side of your shin, when you were in any kind of a butterfly guard position, and he would leverage body weight. And I don't guess that was illegal, but we didn't do it, and everybody sure hated him when he did it. But after that, I used it all the time, so whatever. But anyway, I got a little bruise from that. And that bruise kind of stayed with me for a long, long time. And then one day, the first time this ever hit me, I guess would have been about, 7 years ago. We were still at the location of our store on 745 2427 bypass over there in Sun Plaza. And the guy delivering our foods that had to be kept refrigerated somebody had stolen his ladder. So he asked if I would mind coming out and helping him. And I said, sure, So I go out there, and I walked maybe 75 yards. I stuck my head inside of the refrigerated little unit there, and I walked maybe 75 yards with a box, set it down inside the store, and I go, wow, I'm not feeling good. So I walked to the back. By the time I was at the back, I was shaking all over. I immediately just had the instinct that I needed to go home and get in the bed. So I did, and I stopped on the way and threw up. And when I got home, wow, I need a pop filter there. Sorry about that little. But by the time I got fully home, I was really really shaking all over, and it lasted that time probably about 2 hours, where I just could not get comfortable. I couldn't get warm enough. I couldn't get cool enough. I would just shake, just like a bad fever. Like my body was unsure if it wanted to cool me down or heat me up. But anyway, after about a crescendo of about 2 hours, I will throw up, and typically, even if I don't have anything in me, I'll dry heave or throw up, and then typically it will start feeling a little better, where at least I can go to sleep for a bit, and then that whole day I'll just be very very dehydrated, and the next day the leg will burn, but all the other symptoms will drop away, but the leg will just burn, and then like by the second day a little bit more leg burning. Usually by third day I'm completely over it, like it never happened, and so I'm in like day 3 now. And the leg is burning, but I mean, it was a lot worse yesterday. So, and when you first stand up on it, it's really painful to stand on it for just a minute or two, and then it kind of goes away. But I digress. That happened to me on Sunday. We were getting ready to go out and have a really big day with Delilah, and my music stuff wasn't happening until later in the day. But as it turned out, every single other person involved in this album project 5x5 had other things to come up. So maybe it was just meant to be. It's like the universe speaking to us, don't record today. But I accepted it, and got through yesterday and Sunday and yesterday, and it was great. So today is actually Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, it's Tuesday. Tuesday. I actually do have one client, and unfortunately, the pressure here is that we don't want to say anything about being sick because of the whole, you know what, and so you don't want to tell anybody, oh, I was too sick to work, or I need to take off because I'm not feeling well, because they all think you're talking about that thing, and we weren't. So I've just tell people, hey, I hurt my leg, because people can actually look at the leg is hurt, and I never can tell what's good bringing these on, but I will say I've been eating really clean and detoxing very hard and working out, and at times that has brought it on. At times having cupping done to me, that stirs up a lot of lymph that you need to drain out. That's caused this to happen. In this case, we went out, actually I guess it was Saturday. After work closed on Saturday, we went out to an amazing place called Two Pigs Farm. I'm going to tell you all about it. And again, I am uploading this. Actually, this is going to be its own playlist in my YouTube channel. I'm going to call it Delilah Visits Two Pigs Farms, but you can see the parts of the video that I shot on my iPhone will be in the weekly vlog, which will be, I guess, the July the 11th, the July 11th vlog on BrentBowers.com. Well, anyway, we went out to that place, and the cool thing about it was that it was wild and untamed. It's a farm that you can visit, but you have to get permission, and it's kind of out past Statesville, kind of in a place called Cleveland, but it's sort of in between Salisbury and Statesville, near the Statesville side, and it is very rural. You just turn down a dirt road, and you run to the end of that, and then when that road stops, you turn onto a dirt driveway, and you just go back in the woods, and the foliage and stuff is not cut back. It's like, can this possibly be the place? But Google Maps will take you there, and you get back in there, and it's grown up with these nettle, the stinging nettle, which they make the tea out of. It's grown up everywhere. But we talked to a lady that came out to greet us, and we go out. She tells us where to go. We go out there, and they've got the most amazing apple orchard, peach orchard, blueberry orchard, and even blueberries, and it was amazing. But the only thing was, I wore sandals and shorts, as did Nancy, and we didn't consider that we'd be stepping into straw and grass and things like that had been cut, but wasn't cut like low. And in general, the whole place was left very wild. It's not at all like a commercial farm that you just visit and pick your own stuff, but yet you can visit it, pick your own stuff. They had free-range chickens out the wazoo, as many sheep as I've ever seen in one place, and likewise with the pigs, probably 100 pigs. We fed all of them. The hens thought we were just the bee's knees because they don't get, I guess, grain fed to them, and we brought a little bit from our leftover stuff. We were feeding the wrong stuff to our birds because what we had was just like a bird seed that would sprout up weeds, and we didn't want that, so we ended up replacing that with sunflower seeds. So we took a whole bucket of that. And Delilah was literally and figuratively in hog heaven. We went down to visit the pigs, and they were kind of like in a sort of a wallering mud hole behind some, just a couple strands of electric wire. I guess they just had no motivation to get out. And they're, maybe 4 or 5 feet away from us, and they're thinking we're going to feed them. So they all come over and they just, waller and snarl and everything close to the to where we're at. And Delilah doesn't understand what the smell is. She's going, you could just see her having a hard time with the smell because it was rank. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, so we go through that. We have a great day. We go, we leave there after maybe 2 hours out there. It was super fun. Oh, the llamas. I forgot to tell you. We got to visit their llamas. And on the way out, the lady was walking us out to see their llamas. Some other ladies that were there got their car stuck in the mud. So I had the adventure of getting to help push that car out, and nobody got hurt, and I was able to do it. So that was really cool. I think I believe Nancy even shot a video of that, which I didn't know until later when I saw it. But anyway, so we go out and visit the llamas. It was amazing. Llamas are just one of those animals that I can just never get enough of. My interactions with them have always been super cool, mostly at that Lazy Five Ranch feeding them. But these were a little more standoffish, but I could really look at them and kind of pay attention to just their uniqueness, which is really their selling point for me. But apparently they're pack animals, they're herd animals. You can't just have one, you have to have two, and they're quite, I guess, regulated with making sure people don't get them for meat or whatever. Just try to, compassionate homes for them and whatnot. But loved them. Saw some colors I'd never seen before, like a mottled tan and like a gray that I'd never seen before in that color. But they're just really beautiful creatures. Delilah had a fantastic time, and the lady's son, George, was there, and he kept trying to talk to Delilah. I think he's 6, and, Delilah turned, the big news is on Monday, July 11th, Delilah turned 3 years old. So she's a cute little thing. I mean, you guys have seen, right? But he was like, she's not answering me. He would come up to me and say, can I talk? Can I ask her this? I was like, yeah, ask her. And he's like, she's just bashful or just wasn't, really focused on what he was doing. But eventually he got her attention by saying, do you want to see how fast I can run? And that got her in the swing, and then she was ready to run. She's like, I want to go fast. That's what she always says when she's ready to run. So it's just darling, man. And I tell you what, I love the times with her. So she spent the night with us on Saturday night, and then, like I said, Sunday mornings when I got sick. So I still was watching her for a couple hours, well, maybe an hour of that before Nancy got back with the medicine, and that was a little bit inconvenient. But she got back and took her, and then eventually she reunited with her mom and went to visit her dad for what was supposed to be, I guess, their birthday celebration, which somehow didn't happen. So now we are going to be having her big birthday party at Baden Inn like we did last year. Last year we did it on her birthday, and this year, to accommodate some family, we are having it a week late. Now, we will see who shows up. If folks don't show up, then we will never adjust the date again, because that's just crazy. Because, it's not just one person. There's like someone always has something else, And I'm actually going to see the man, Garth Brooks, in concert, thanks to my friend Tony hooking me up with some tickets, with a ticket. He won 2 tickets, and I guess nobody else was in the bring along list that wanted to see Garth Brooks. So I got lucky enough to be invited, and I appreciate that because I always wanted to see him. And if provided there's good weather, I think it'll be fantastic. And then the very next day, we're having Delilah's birthday party on Sunday at Baden Inn. You guys can read all about my thoughts on Baden Inn and check out videos I've done on the place because it's an amazing place to stay and or have an event. I recommend it highly. And I think the band's going to play. I think Tony and myself and Harrison might play a little bit. I don't have any particular time, but we did tell folks that we would be there playing because I think some of the attendees might be from a recent performance we had out there. But anyway, should be a blast. The kids had a great time last time. Moving right along to this week's Movie Minute. I finally got a chance to see Terra on the Prairie from Daily Wire and the official uncanceling of the great Gina Carano, and actually the first starring role, I guess, for Donald Cerrone, Donald a.k.a. Cowboy Cerrone, one of my all-time favorite UFC fighters. Now, I'm going to give you skinny on this movie. This is not going to be a deep review. Basically, it's just one of those revenge tale type. If you took some of the romanticism out of like the Clint Eastwood movies, where he's silhouetted and he comes back and he's like practically bulletproof, and a guy almost gets hanged, etc. All these like grand concepts which made the Clint Eastwood films so, I mean, enthralling, but like at the same time, truly, truly Hollywood, like not the way revenge would really be exacted on somebody, or conflicts would probably not go the way the antagonist or the protagonist would really expect. Things would just happen the way they happen organically, and that to me is something that this film got really right. And I think it might have almost been by accident, like they might have been trying to go for the Clint Eastwood style a little bit more. But let me just say this: it was shot beautifully. Some of the talent that they hired, and in particular, the guy's name escapes me, but the main bad guy was awesome, and you'd know him if I named him. He was very, very good. And then Gina Carano is never bad, really. Like I've never seen her in a role that I thought she didn't. She doesn't have some of the wider beats that you might expect, because I always feel like a lot of her characters just really feel like her, like that brooding darkness. I don't know. I mean, of course she's pretty, but I don't know. She's just got like a quietness about her in all the interviews, and also her characters. So I don't know. It's and it was kind of right in that wheelhouse again. Like if you liked Haywire, any of her other film projects, you're gonna love this. I'm not even gonna mention that that thing that she was so-called canceled from, because I didn't think that was that well made. I thought she was good in it, but I digress. Don't want to send any eyes that way. All of my 0.000001 listeners, which would be me and maybe Harrison and maybe somebody else in my family. I don't know. But anyway, Terror on the Prairie. If you like a Western, you would appreciate this film. I did feel like the writing might have been could have been a little smoother, but the director, Michael Polish, he knows how to direct. And the writer did a pretty good job. I mean, like I think the film could have been made to be probably edited a little tighter and made it to be a little shorter. And there were just a few moments where I just felt like, the hero kind of played into the hands of the bad guy in a way that I don't think he would have. Or maybe in real life, emotions take you over and you just jump and, do something or say something when you shouldn't. And maybe it was kind of like that, because I'm like, man, this guy would be dead in like a Hollywood picture. He'd be dead in 5 seconds because he just keeps doing all the wrong stuff. But in the end, I kind of came full circle on that, and I felt in the end like it was more intentional than a mistake. So that said, the writing was pretty good. Maybe could have been massaged a bit to make it just, or maybe that's an editing thing. I don't know. Maybe like it just could have been edited tighter. But I liked it. I mean, I would say, out of 10, I would give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8. It was extremely well shot. The music was like perfect. The casting was very good on all accounts. There were moments when I went, it looks like they've got these two characters off screen because it was getting too expensive to maybe keep them on screen. In particular, I'm talking about the baby and the kid and the young man. It seemed like the son character. I'm thinking it feels like that they just came up with a way to get them off screen, hiding out somewhere, to make it maybe just a little more accessible to get into the violence and whatnot, and stuff they didn't want to have them around for. Or maybe, they got to have tutors, they got to be, in school and stuff like that. But thinking of it like pragmatically as a filmmaker, I know that probably makes the shoot days a little bit cheaper if you don't have to have those extra trailers, you don't have to have that tutor, you don't have to have all the things that go along with having that character, and the same with the baby, so who knows. But I was impressed, man. Daily Wire kicking it out. I've come so close to subscribing to that service so many times, and I probably will end up doing it. But yeah, I haven't seen their other film project, Run, Hide, Fight. I guess I'm looking forward to checking that out at some point. But I digress. That's it for Movie Minute. Check out Terror on the Prairie if you'd like to. If you're a fan of Donald Cowboy Cerrone or Gina Carano, you get a kick out of it. I sure did. Okay, so what's left this week? Well, like I mentioned, we have a little performance. I was sick last weekend, and the plan is to continue with some unboxing for the VHS graveyard and move closer to starting that podcast up, because that's kind of what I'm doing this for, to sort of get my flow back and get all my pieces in order to be able to do that. And then on toward the weekend, be prepped to go see the concert, and then go have Delilah's birthday party, record another one of these, hopefully sometime Sunday evening, and just get back on the schedule, and that'll be it. So, yeah, our time is up, believe it or not. I have talked for 20 minutes, so I may try to cut this down a little bit, but as always, you'll be able to see the live version on the live playback set list or playlist on YouTube, and check this one out here on the website. Hope you guys have a great week, and we'll be back letting you know what's what next time on